Hello everybody and welcome back to Analog Vernacular. Today we're going to be playing some more Triangle Strategy and we're going into Chapter 14 Part 2. We just, finished reclaiming the capital.
Overwhelmed by the forces of House Wolford, Esfrost's troops are scattered and driven from the Crown City. Glenbrook, at last, is free. Several days after this fateful battle, Queen Cordelia announces her intent to abdicate the throne and make way for another. Roland Glenbrook, his face no longer hidden from the world, will take his rightful place at the seat of power. With the prince's friends having only just finished grieving his death, and his enemies having only just finished toasting to it, this news shocks the foundations not only of Glenbrook, but of Nozelia itself. Benedict's daring stratagem has left deep scars across the city, which stand as a statement to Esfrost that their enemies will do anything to see them defeated. The prince becomes king, and condemns the schemes of Gustadolf, making known Esfrost's plot to usurp the throne. However, the people's reaction to this news is not quite a chorus of approval. It is plain that the ravages of war and the shame of subjugation have left an indelible mark on the once prosperous nation. Although the battle for Glenbrook is behind them, Serenoa and the rest of the city's liberators must make ready for a struggle of an entirely different sort.
Glory shall find you. Chapter 14 Part 2.
Congratulations on returning to your rightful throne, King Roland.
Ah, you've returned. My friend, a word.
Yes.
I am honored to have had you by my side on this journey. To be able to call you friend.
As am I, Roland.
Your Majesty, representatives from Hyzante have arrived.
We shan't make undue demands of your time, King Roland. We've simply come to say farewell.
Without your aid, my people would still be under Esfrost's iron rule. Glenbrook owes you a debt of gratitude.
Consider the debt paid. The knowledge we gleaned of Elfric's capabilities was more than worth our troubles.
Indeed, it surpassed my every expectation. The Holy One is sure to be pleased with the results.
Your Majesty, can we trust you to lift the embargo and keep Esfrost subdued?
Of course. Lord Wolford has promised his full cooperation in that regard.
Your Majesty, lest you misunderstand your friend's position, allow me to make one matter abundantly clear. Minister Serenoa is of the Saintly Seven. He is not to serve at your whims, but by the grace of the Hierophant.
I understand, but he is also a Lord of Glenbrook. More importantly, he is my friend. As such, I would ask for his assistance in the days ahead, as I have in days past.
Your Majesty, it is plain that the friendship between you two runs deep. However, the rules of politics are old and immutable.
And what does the Lord himself think of his new position?
Of course, I am grateful for the honor Hyzante has bestowed upon me. I will do all in my power to serve both the Hierophant and King Roland with all faithfulness.
In other words, the Hierophant does not have your full loyalty.
Correct.
Well,
Glenbrook and Hyzante are to be two nations united in purpose. Surely it is reasonable that Lord Serenoa acts in service to both? Perhaps King Roland and the Hierophant should discuss my lord's role together.
You are right, of course. It is not our place to assume the goddess's intent.
Very well. I hope to meet with the Holy One as soon as my duties allow. I expect busy days ahead for you, Serenoa. Be prepared.
Certainly, Your Majesty.
Milo shall stay in Glenbrook for the time being. If there is aught she can assist you with, consider her at your complete disposal. Remember, Milo, that you are the symbol of friendship between our two nations.
But of course, I live to serve, Minister.
Something tells me she'd rather be blowing
And with
something up.
that, we shall take our leave.
May we meet again soon.
I think that she's the assassin who kills our father in that first route.
They leave us with a spy. It seems we still haven't won their trust entirely.
Okay, so this scene is completely the same as it was the last time, so I think at this point we're going to start moving forward. So I'm going to skip ahead until we reach something else, something new. So maybe what I'll do is I'll get through this scene, and after that we will take a look at path traveled, and then we'll go from there.
We got a pretty good understanding of the damage in the capital, my lord. It's a tad more than we were expecting.
I see. Then we must make haste with repairs. Let's report this to Hyzante and see what aid they can give us.
So this is
Was
similar.
there anything of note besides damage?
In fact, I think it might be the exact same scene. In the first route, we blew up the bridge, and they said the same thing, that it did more damage than they intended. But obviously, this one's a little bit worse than that one, but I think the scene is basically the same.
There ain't an easy way of putting this, but not everyone's exactly pleased to hear Prince Roland's returned. Esfrost exempted Glenbrook's subjects from the salt tax. Likely a bid to get in everyone's good graces. And a damn good one at that. But more than that, the so-called freedom Gustadolf brought to the kingdom seems to have made a splash. He threw out the old ways and made it so anyone could better their lot in life depending on their ability, instead of their birthright.
Just as in Esfrost.
Then the people must have looked quite favorably upon Gustadolf's rule.
I wager folks ain't too pleased to see us, since they figure it means things will go back to how they used to be.
Roland surmised as much. We must do something to show the people his is a return worth celebrating.
Okay. Basically, all of this is the same as well, so I will see you in a minute. Okay, 16 character stories, apparently. Say what? Holy crap, okay. So the rest of this episode might just end up being character stories. That's a lot of character stories. My goodness. Okay, the unmasked Maxwell treads a new path and speaks with Hewitt of his past. He really needs to be talking to Roland. Why isn't he talking to Roland?
That you would return to us hale and whole. 'Tis a much-needed fortune in these trying times.
With luck, soon my return will not be the only cause for celebration. I am glad to see you unharmed, Hewitt. I would choose none but you to stand by Prince Roland's side in my absence.
Thank you. However, I am afraid I have far to go before I can measure up to your legend. A legend that seems to have begun a new chapter, now that you have doffed that mask of yours. Forgive me for prying, but I must ask, why did you wear it for so long?
Truth be told, I have not thought upon those reasons for some time. When I served Glenbrook as its Master of Swords, I did not wear it.
You were Master of Swords? The Dawn Spear?
Indeed. My star was rising, and I was tasked with investigating a group of nobles who were dealing in stolen works of art. A simple assignment, or so I thought. I was yet young and unaware of the pettiness of those who consider themselves to be our betters. I apprehended several of the criminals, but one escaped. That was my grave mistake. In shadows, they harbored their grudges until they exacted their revenge. But the life they took was not mine. It was my love's, the woman to whom I had promised my future.
Rough.
What? I never knew.
The villain was eventually brought to justice, but no sentence could bring back what had been stolen from me. Had I only been more thorough, and not been so naive, then she would still be.
Sir Maxwell, there is no way you could have known. The blame falls not on you.
Nay, my inexperience sowed the seeds, and I will reap their bitter fruit until the day I die. I swore I would never again allow someone I loved to come to harm. To ensure that, I had to discard who I was. I gave up my title as Master of Swords, hid my true face behind a mask. I spoke only with my spear.
And you were reborn as Glenbrook's fiercest warrior, the Dawn Spear. Your feat surpassed the imagination of even the most silver-tongued of bards. Forgive me. I still tend to get lost in the stories, even though you are standing here before me.
No, I should thank you. There are few who would understand my struggles, but I believe you are one. House Wolfort has seen its share of misfortunes. That you all still walk with your heads held high is an inspiration to all. I was brought back from the brink of death to fight by your side, to face the dangers ahead, undaunted and unhidden. I may owe fate for my return, but I shall fight tooth and nail before it takes aught from me again. At least, such are the things I tell myself in my quiet moments. I only pray the words can give me strength when it matters most.
They will. No doubt you are stronger now than you have ever been.
Thank you. I no longer need to hide in fear. I will not look away.
So yeah, we must have hit some story trigger that opened up more of these side stories. Getting that many at the same time. So it looks like we have Benedict next. So Benedict and Eridor uphold a custom they have shared for 30 years. Are they drinking again? Or maybe it just has to do with going to the grave?
All right, lads and lasses, lay down your arms. Let your bruises remind you of the lessons learned today.
Ah, what fortuitous timing. I still owe you for the drinks from the other evening. I wondered if I might treat you tonight.
Apologies, lass, but I've got places to be. Perhaps another time.
He seemed troubled by something. Perhaps I'm overthinking it.
So maybe it has to do with Lady Destra then?
Let us end our day's work here.
It is early, is it not? Is something amiss?
No, nothing at all. Just my attention is required elsewhere for a time.
Elsewhere? Curious.
How many have you had?
Not enough. Just one for you, I take it.
Yes.
Went by in a flash. Can you believe it's been 30 years?
The time has escaped us. The memory of that day, however, I doubt ever will.
30 years ago, during the Salt Iron War.
Thrice damned, can't move.
So somebody told me in comments that in flashbacks we can get different portraits. And looks like it's true. All right. A young Eridor. He was a soldier of the Salt Iron War, fighting under Simon's command.
Always thought I'd meet my end with a beautiful lass by my side.
You have many days ahead of you yet, Eridor. We will see you returned home.
Damn, look at you. Look at you, Benedict. A young Benedict. He was a soldier of the Salt Iron War, fighting under Simon's command.
Don't try to run, you curs!
Leave me be. I'll just slow you down. It was my cursed pride that got us into this. Only I should suffer for it. We don't all need to die today. Run!
Even in the face of death, you refuse to set aside your foolish pride. I followed you into this hell of my own will, and I will see you delivered from it.
You fool!
Charge!
Come and die. Yeah!
So what was Eridor trying to do? Avenge Destra or something?
That would have been it for us, had Lord Simon not met their charge in time.
Aye, and the only punishment for my pride were these aches that keep me awake at night.
Guess it's just a war story.
We hungered for glory all those years ago, without a care for how it would serve us later on.
A couple of would-be heroes who couldn't be convinced they weren't invincible.
Yet here we are, drinking, to celebrate the end of that war. I do not wish to reminisce upon the past, a toast that I may never again repeat the mistakes of my youth. But before that...
Yeah?
You have served House Wolfort well, Eridor. That said, I have a feeling we'll need your sturdy shield even more going forward.
You need me to lead a charge? I'm your man. I'll leave anything fancier than that to you. For House Wolfort!
For House Wolfort.
It was a cool one. Alright, Roland harbors doubts about his station, but Serenoa reminds him that he is noble in his own way.
Roland, what are you doing out here?
There's hardly a better place to become lost in one's thoughts. Don't you agree?
I suppose. However, if aught weighs on your mind, it may serve you better to turn to a friend.
Wonder if this will ever be used as a fighting map.
Then let me ask, do you believe me too immature for my station?
Not at all. Quite the opposite, in fact.
But the other nobles loved to gossip of my disinterest in politics and intrigue, and mocked my love of hawking.
You said it yourself. Gossip and sniping, nothing more. Pay no mind to nobles and their petty judgments. The people who matter, your subjects, hold you dearly in their hearts. Stories abound of their love for you.
Hey, go peddle your junk somewhere else. And why would I do that, my good sir? I see no reason to forego such a bustling avenue simply to please a stranger.
A stranger? You're posted in front of my damn shop. You're stealing my customers from right under my nose.
Oh, I am? I'm not sure your lack of customers could be blamed on me. Surely the proprietor bears some responsibility for...
What bickering is this?
The younger son of King Regna, who brought the Salt Iron War to its end. Serenoa of House Wolford is his closest friend.
None of your business, whelp. Now leave us to our negotiations.
Prince Roland, is that really you?
A prince, you say? Well,
A distinguished gentleman such as yourself must be mortified to have your customers bear witness to this childish bickering.
I'm sorry, Your Highness. My temper got the best of me.
And you, merchant. If you mean to trade in Glenbrook, I trust you have procured the proper licenses and approvals.
Well, the process takes some days, you see. Pardon, Your Highness.
Then your business shall have to wait some days, it seems. Shall I summon a member of the Kingsguard to explain the law in detail?
No, there'll be no need of that, Highness. I'll just be on my way.
Thank you, Prince Roland. Come visit any time, and I'll let you have your pick of my wares.
The only son of Simon, a legendary warrior and head of House Wolford. Just wanted to see if those are different than their regular bios.
Your place has always been with your people. You could walk down the main avenue and settle disputes with a single word.
Don't tell me you were watching. They were petty arguments, nothing more.
As petty as they might have been, you were happy to do it. What better proof of royalty is there than that?
But it wasn't because I was wise that I solved their problems. It was my name and status that let my words wait. How do you imagine a kingdom with not a single dissatisfied soul would look?
That's a difficult thing to imagine.
Indeed. I suppose the best one can hope for is to do what we can, while we can.
Well, we can start envisioning such a nation. That one day we might build it, together.
I like the sound of that. No doubt the answers we seek lie ahead, so long as we stay honest with ourselves. And so long as we work together, you and I, Serenoa.
All right. Anna. Anna searches for answers about her parents, and Eridor seems to know more than he lets on. Intriguing, okay. You got my attention.
Under this tree.
This here's the land of the Jax clan, or used to be more like. That clasp on your chest, that's their sigil, if I'm not mistaken.
It's a memento from my parents. Or so I was told.
Aye, now that I'm looking for it, I can see the resemblance. Same silvery hair and everything. Villages near here met with a pretty terrible fate. They begged the armies to spare their fields. The only one who listened was one of House Wolford's bannermen. no one was surprised, big war hero that he was. But by the time we got here, the Jacks had been all but exterminated. He was digging graves for the dead, enemy and all. A hero and a gentleman he was.
Must have been Eridor.
Names on the tip of my tongue.
Benedict.
Aye, that was it. Do you know the man? I'd like you to pass on my gratitude, if you do.
Thanks for showing me the way.
Your coin's all the thanks I require. If that's all you'll be needing me for, I'll leave you to it.
You make a poor stalker.
Ain't exactly what I'm built for.
You fought in the battle here, didn't you?
Benedict swore me to secrecy. But suppose it ain't break an oath if you already know. Oh, but first I ought to tell you. You've the right to the truth. And those ain't my words. They're his. That's why he never tried to stop you from finding out about your parents.
You know of their fate?
We drove the enemy up the cliff top. Cornered him there. The same instant we cut their leader down, a babe cried out in the distance. In the hideout, we found you, all swaddled up. A letter pinned to you with that same clasp on your chest.
Live strong, Anna. Stronger than any. I see now.
Your family died at our hands. If it's vengeance you want, you can take it out on me.
That doesn't sound like the Eridor I know. Do you think so little of me? To assume I would forsake my friend? Bloody my hands with revenge? I know the truth at last. That is enough.
Is it, Anna? Or are you forcing it to be?
Don't be a fool. Benedict is the one who raised me. If I ever want for a father, I know where to find him. When we've won this war, I shall make sure he understands that.
So in that war, the Wolforts were working with Hyzante, and then made amends with Glenbrook. So does that mean that the enemy that we're talking about in this fight was Esfrosty? They may have mentioned in the dialogue and I just missed it, but... So is Anna Esfrosty then, is what I'm asking. Okay, so Randolph, what is your name? Rudolph. Roland? Rudolph? I gotta keep these R names straight. Rudolph. Former salt smuggler recounts the promise he made to his late brother.
Never saw myself coming this far just to be scrubbing the decks on some ship.
Quiet. This is an important job, even if you think it beneath you.
I meant no disrespect. It's just that my brother and I always figured we'd be passengers on a ship like this.
I see. Was he fond of ships?
Not as such, no.
What's that?
It's my brother. Or rather, his ashes, anyhow.
Oh.
Made a promise to him when we were still small, you see. When he got better, I told him we'd set off to wherever we wanted, eat whatever we wanted, see things nobody'd seen. He always dreamt we'd find a paradise of our own and live like kings. But he never so much as left his sickbed, let alone the duchy itself. I'm a terrible brother. Broke my word. As soon as I saw this ship, it all came flooding back.
You needn't punish yourself. You did all you could to protect him.
Thank you. I appreciate the kind words, but what's done is done.
I refuse to accept that. Nothing is ever final. And I dare say, the weather is fair enough for a short test cruise.
We can just take the ship out for a joyride? Don't we need his lordship's permission?
I am my own person and responsible for my own actions, and the consequences of those actions. Besides, I must ensure that the ship is in working order, and you deserve a reward for your labor today. I am certain we can handle ourselves if we work together.
Don't need to tell me twice.
Oh, look at this.
The sea air feels wonderful. I had no idea a breeze could feel so good. You never got to go outside, you know, on account of the sickness. You just lay there, staring at the ceiling. But now we can finally see the bright blue sky and feel the winds uncaged. If only one of his dreams is fulfilled, I'm glad it's this one.
That's sweet.
Thank you, Anna. This has turned into a fine way to honor his memory. He's free now.
There is no need for thanks. This is my job.
So you say. That don't mean I can't be grateful.
Asabara. Even the tavern, meant to be a place for people to forget their worries, sees its share of troubles. We might have to space these out.
Go on, have another glass.
These take up some time.
I'm offering top shelf drink for bottom shelf prices tonight. No need to fret over your coin purses.
See? This is why we keep coming back. Nobody treats us better than our Hasabara.
Quite the crowd tonight, eh? Good to see it.
All thanks to you for supplying me with that mead.
Thanks to my good fortune, you mean. I got it for so cheap on account of the batch not measuring quite up to the brewer's usual standards.
Still, look at how happy it's made them. There's nothing I love more than seeing my tavern full to bursting like this. Thank you, Eridor. Truly.
It's nothing, honest.
Ah, and just like that, they've nearly drank me dry. Might have to close up early tonight.
Celebrating something, Hasabara. Whatever it is, we'll drink to that. Pour us around.
I wish I could. Seems the barrels have run dry tonight. But if you'll come back on the morrow...
Run dry? You've enough for these drunkards? You can't spare a drop for those of us who are risking our lives for you on the battlefield? Ah! Hey! Who are you calling a drunkard?
Don't you fools go spoiling the one spot of happiness we've had in a long while.
Enough! My tavern's a place for forgetting troubles, not stirring them up. You do well not to look down your noses at the very people you've sworn an oath to protect. You want respect? Go out there and earn it by ending the war. Then there'll be drink aplenty to go around.
You tell them, Hasabara. They're no better than us.
You lot aren't blameless either, you know. These soldiers do put their lives on the line to protect yours. They get enough grief on the battlefield without you giving it to them off it.
I'm sorry. I don't know what came over me.
No, I shouldn't have let my temper flare.
Look, there's still some drink left here. How's about you raise a glass together?
Yeah. You can have some of ours, too.
Well, don't mind if I do.
Level head you've got on your shoulders there, Hasabara.
It helped that you pitched in when you did.
Ah, now that hits the spot.
Doesn't it? Here, I'll pour you another.
See? Now this is what I live for. Giving people a place they can come together and leave the worries of the world behind for a while. Somehow, I know this is what Theo would have wanted me to do. If only I could raise a glass with him.
Aye, I reckon he'd be proud. You've made a spot of sunshine for people that don't get much of it these days. People like me.
What with business booming again, it looks like I'm going to have my hands full for a while. Don't you worry for your mama, Theo. As long as there's ale to be poured and smiles on her customers' faces, she'll be just fine.
Okay, maybe... hold on. So let's see, this is where we're at right now? Okay, so we're about to get to a point where we make our 3 choices. Alright, so here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go through a couple more of these until we end this episode. This is basically just gonna be an episode of mostly side stories, character stories. And then in the next episode, we will go ahead and move forward to the choices. And move forward a little bit, and then maybe at some point we'll do another episode of these. Just because, like, it's gonna take us probably 2 full episodes to get through all of these. Yeah. Okay. Yep, let's do that. Is that the... hold on. Is this the 3 choices? Yeah, it is. This should be where the 3 choices happen. Yep, we went to the Rosellan village. We also had the option of staying in the capital city to help Roland, or going home to help our dad. We're gonna be staying in the capital city with Roland, just so everybody knows. Because we're gonna, on the next playthrough, we're gonna do Golden Route stuff, so... for this one, we'll avoid the Golden Route option of going to Wolfort, and yeah, cool. Alright, what's your name again? I don't even remember your name because I don't use you enough. Lionel, there we go, it's right in the thing. Lionel uses the Wolfort name to sell his dubious goods, but will he get away with it?
You! Just what was in that swill you sold me?
Ah, my good sir. Don't you look to be in a fit of pique? But what does it have to do with Lionel?
Don't play coy with me! That was no secret elixir you sold me. An elderly nobleman bought the entire batch, and all he got for his troubles was a whole day atop his chamber pot.
Ah, perhaps the tonic's invigorating effects were too potent for a man of such venerable age.
Oh, God.
While Lionel is sure his digestive system has been duly cleansed, methinks a smaller dosage should suffice next time.
Digestive system? Dosage? You said that medicine granted eternal life.
Lionel recalls saying nothing of the sort. We did converse about rumors of such an elixir existing prior to the transaction, but that was all.
What a snake, dude.
If you harbor any doubts, pray consult the bill of sale. Rest assured that any misunderstanding stems from your own negligence.
I guess we should just be happy he's not
For
doing
all the
that
good
to us.
it'll do me now, I might as well wipe my ass with it.
My friend, the merchant's seal is his word. Consider this a lesson to read the fine print more carefully in the future.
You two-faced charlatan! You'll pay for this!
two-faced? Has your own coin purse not grown mysteriously fat, despite the heavy taxes on salt? I dare say more so than market prices would conceivably allow. One wonders, what is the punishment in Hyzante for those who do business outside the purview of the state?
You can't threaten me! I'll gut you like a fish!
Oh!
Oh, man.
Seems you needed protection after all.
You're lucky Anna's around, dude.
Lionel had the matter well under control. Did you kill him?
He's just unconscious. Killing him would only attract unwanted attention.
Nevertheless, he gave Lionel quite a fright. That knock on his head couldn't have been good for the fool's health.
The only fool here is you. Using the name of House Wolfort to swindle others? How long did you think this charade would last? I'll give you one chance to stop, or else you'll end up next to him in the dirt.
Lionel will have you know he has friends in high places. Yes, very high places. So high, in fact, that yes, Lionel now sees the error of his ways. His thinking so far has been positively unambitious. It is Lionel who holds the purse strings of House Wolfort, and it is he who must see to it that said purse is overflowing with riches. He has been a fool. Only a fool would squander his talents with such petty deceits. But Lionel does not lose heart easily. No, he shall redouble his efforts. For such is his burden, the burden of a loyal servant tasked with guiding his house to boundless fortune. Ha ha! Let us begin our new work post-haste.
That took a turn for the unexpected. What am I supposed to do with him? Knock him senseless and drag him back to the castle? It may come to that.
It may. Alright, I think this is where we're going to end this episode, so thank you all for being here. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and in the next episode we will move forward to where we get to make our choice between the 3 different options here, and yeah, we'll go from there. So, see you in the next one. Bye! I'd like to give a very special shout out to my patron supporters, Darren York, ZTD, 7th Son, Ivan K, Len, HLLJ, Knife Namaste, Caleb Adkins, and Jordan and Emily Hill. If you would also like to join this tier or any others, check out my memberships or my Patreon in the description down below.